Hey guys, welcome back to the Nerd Hangout. Today we are going to look at another Marvel character, Moon Knight. So we know that the Disney Plus is going to have a new series called Moon Knight, and that made me want to think a little bit about who is this character. So in this episode we're going to dive into the character of Moon Knight, and we're going to talk about his origin stories from the comics and who he is from the comics. And at the end of this video we're going to watch the trailer from the upcoming series on Disney Plus. Now it's always interesting to talk a little bit about the characters and then to see how the characters are going to be depicted on the big screen in the cinematic universe, because they're always going to have their own version of it. And the thing is, either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. And the thing with this character, just like the Morbius character that we talked about in a previous episode, these are actually B-list characters from the comics. They're not that much talked about. They're not seen that much as so many others. But it looks like that Marvel is trying to put them on the screen, throw them out there, and giving them the opportunity to actually become an A-list character, which is exciting. I'm really excited for the Morbius movie, and I'm very curious to see how Moon Knight is going to be as well. It's going to be a TV series, unlike Morbius, which is going to be a movie on the big screen. But when you think about it, a TV series actually has more screen time than on a theatrical movie. So it's going to be fun to see which of these characters are going to make it, which of them are going to flop. Maybe both of them. I hope that both of them are going to be a success. Marvel has a really good track record of giving us the characters in a way that we all love. So before we're going to look at the trailer of Moon Knight, let's take a look at the character from the comics. Quote, "Let's establish some parameters. I am not Spider-Man, and I'm not the Punisher. They represent extreme ends of the same costume spectrum. I am Moon Knight. And you will all know that that means one thing. No one in this room, myself included, knows precisely what I am capable of. I beat the Avengers. Imagine what I can do to any one of you." Werewolf by Night, issue 32, May 1975. Anyway guys, like we said, today we're going to talk about Moon Knight, and we are excited for the upcoming Disney Plus series. Now let's dive a little bit into who is Moon Knight. Moon Knight Mark Spector, created by writer Doug Moench and artist Don Perlin, has his first appearance in Werewolf by Night issue 32, which was written in August 1975. The son of a rabbi, Mark Spector was a former Marine and CIA operative who became a mercenary despite his conflicted feelings about violence and morality. During a job in Sudan, Spector was appalled when ruthless fellow mercenary Raoul Bushman attacked and killed archaeologist Dr. Alrune. After saving the archaeologist's daughter and colleague Marlene Alrune, Spector was then mortally wounded by Bushman before finding himself drawn into a recently unearthed tomb for shelter and placed before a statue of the Egyptian moon god Kunush. Spector dies, but then suddenly revived, fully healed. He claims Kunush wants him to be the Moon Knight, redeeming his life of violence by now protecting and avenging the innocent. While early stories imply Spector is merely insane, it is later revealed Kunush is real, one of several in titles from The Other Void, a dimension outside normal time and space, who were worshipped as gods by ancient Earth people. On his return to the United States, Spector invests his mercenary profits into becoming the crime fighter Moon Knight. Moon Knight, aided by his colleague Jean-Paul Frenchie Ducamp and Marlene Alrune, who becomes his lover and eventual mother of his daughter, along with his costumed alter ego. He primarily uses three other identities to gain information from different social circles: billionaire businessman Stephen Grant, taxicab driver Jake Lockley, and suited consultant Mr. Knight. It is later revealed Moon Knight has dissociative identity disorder, incorrectly referred as schizophrenia in some stories. Why do I sound like one of the lizard people? Schizophrenia. Disorder. And that the alters known as Grant and Lockley originally manifested during his childhood. It is debated in different stories whether Spectre's mental disorder is due to his childhood trauma or the result of a brain damage caused by the psychic connection to Canouche. A connection compelling Moon Knight's personality to shift between the four major aspects of the moon god's multi-faced nature: the traveler, the pathfinder, the immerser, and the defender of those who travel by night. Canouche claims he created the psychic connection with Moon Knight when the latter was a young boy, decades before he was ready to fully recruit him as his avatar on Earth, the left fist of Canouche. In most of his stories, Moon Knight has no supernatural abilities beyond occasional visions of mystical insight. He relies on authentic ability, intellect, advanced technology, and expert combat skills. Since becoming Moon Knight, there have been multiple occasions when the character has died, only then be resurrected by Canouche, although how many times he may be resurrected is unknown. For a time, Moon Knight's strength and resilience to injury could reach superhuman levels depending on the phase of the moon, but his ability later vanished. Editors Marv Wolfman and Len Wein liked the character and decided to give him a solo story in Marvel Spotlight issue 28 to 29, June and August in 1976, again written by Doug Moench, with the art by Don Perlin. The story, along with the Bill Mantlo penned Spectacular Spider-Man issue 22 to 23, September-October 1978, recasted Moon Knight as a more heroic character. His association with the Evil Committee during his first appearance was reconned to be an undercover mission he undertook to learn more about the villains. Moon Knight acted as a hero again in Marvel 2-in-1 issue 53, written by Stephen Grant, with the art by Jim Craig. In The Defenders issue 74 to 51, Moon Knight briefly joined the Defenders during the war against Zodiac Cartel. Moon Knight appeared in recurring backup stories in Hulk magazine, issued 11 to 15 and 17 to 18, and then issue 20, as well as a black and white story in the magazine publication Marvel Preview, issue 21, all written by Doug Moench. Artist Bill Sienkiewicz drew Moon Knight in Hulk magazine issue 13 to 15, 17 to 18, and 20, creating a new look for the character heavily influenced by the art of Neil Adams, who at the time was most popular for his work on Batman and Green Lantern and Green Arrow from the DC Comics. This, along with Moon Knight's methods and the atmosphere of his story, cemented a perception among some readers as he was Marvel's version of Batman. The Hulk backups and Marvel preview issues provided Moon Knight with a particle or origin story, introduced his brother, the recurring villain Randall Spectre, who would later become Shadow Knight. Now, the character has evolved a lot since his origin debut, and one of his personas not mentioned earlier is also that of Mr. Knight, like mentioned earlier, where he wears this white suit but still covering his face, like the Moon Knight mask without the hood, where he consults police officers and also does some vigilante works when it comes to kidnapping and stuff like this. And the other persona of him, the Stephen Grant, where he is this billionaire, and he actually became a billionaire after investing his mercenary money. He became extremely rich out of that, so his persona looks a lot like Bruce Wayne also in this matter. There are so many likenesses between Batman and Moon Knight. The billionaire facade, the way he uses his money to fund his gadgets, his weapons, and his arsenal, the way that he fights. He has something called crescent darts, which look exactly like the batarang that he throws around, and a grappling hook which he can shoot and swing from building to building. So yeah, the likeness is cunning, so you would understand why he is called the Marvel's version of Batman. Well, anyway, he is a beloved character. He's not an A-list character, but a lot of people really like him. So the discussion is it really necessary to give him a live-action show? You can tell me in the comments what you think. The character has appeared in numerous forms of media, such as animated television shows and video games. Moon Knight will make his live-action debut on Disney Plus, set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with Oscar Isaac playing the character. I really think it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to implement this schizophrenia or his mental state compared to him being a vigilante or a superhero. I'm gonna find that interesting. The trailer is released, and I think we should go check that out before we end this week's episode. Let's go, guys.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I think I'm losing it.
Real catch you are. You're bloody useless, Stevie.
Stephen. I can't tell the difference between life and dreams.
Thank you.
Lost the contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Thanks.
Okay.
Now hold the phone. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark? It must be very difficult. The voice in your head. Shut up! There's chaos in you. Embrace the chaos.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this definitely seems a bit different than we talked about. They're taking this, definitely going in with the mental state of his person. The origin story is of course not the same as in the comic books, you can see that clearly. But it looks interesting. It looks like it's going to play a lot of his psychological state, and apparently he's a little bit of an insomniac. We will see. I don't know if I'm wrong. Kind of looks like it. I could be wrong, but we'll just have to see when the series releases. And what do I think? It looks like it's gonna be a little. It seems like it's gonna be a lot with the psychological factor of it. What's real, what isn't real, from his perspective anyway. So I don't know, guys. Tell me in the comments. Are you excited for this? Is this even necessary? Fingers crossed it's gonna be good, guys. The trailer looks cool enough. Tell me in the comments what you think. Anyway, guys, here's we're gonna stop this week's episode. I hope you like my take on Moon Knight, and do give me a like if you like this episode. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe, and you can also leave down below in the comments which character, Marvel or DC or other superhero character would you like to hear me talk about, backstory and origins. Goodbye, nerds. See, track record has a really good track record. Has a really good track record. Kom, goeie feestjes.